Welcome to the Austin Resource Recovery Safety Meeting for the month of February. We're going to start off with the Aim and Higher in the Kudos Corner. Then we have the Green Team, which is over True Love. Our safety topic of the month is Bloodborne Pathogens. And then we're going to announce the winner for the first quarter for the On the Spot Award. Let's get started. Let's review the Aim and Higher Award. Aim and Higher Award is recognizing your fellow ARR employees by nominating them to receive paid leave for going above and beyond. Individual employees or a group of employees may be nominated by anyone at any time. The recipients in January are Adam Shoemate, Richard Avila, Scott Long from Divergent Facilities, and Cody Yarborough and Ryan Rawson from the Safety Department. We also have Jaime Martinez from Litter Abatement, and we have David Herrera, Josh Shermans, Anthony Calderon, Kevin Rowland, and Ben Delgado for training. We also have Cedric Armstrong from Collection Services, and John Childers from Safety, and Kevin Reed from Litter Abatement. All right, let's move on to the Kudos Corner. Kudos stands for Keep Up Delivering Outstanding Service. Do you know of any individual or group who deserves recognition? Give them kudos. The kudos recipients in January is Keith Robinson with Customer Service and Megan Ontiveros and Karina Hansen with Human Resources. Announcing the Kudos Year-End Award. If an employee receives 3 or more kudos in the fiscal year, they may be eligible to receive 4 hours of ARL. The Awards and Recognition Committee will review all the kudos for eligible employees at the end of the year and vote to determine whether to grant the award.
Hey, good morning. My name is Chase Norris. I'm with ARR's Strategic Initiatives Business Outreach Team, and I'm also on the Green Team at ARR, and so I was asked to present this month's topic, which is True Love in this time of Valentine's Day. So I wanted to make the connection about how you can connect, love and Valentine's and showing appreciation for the people that you love while not wasting the plan's resources. And so here's some sustainable ideas for your bay. Open this up. So you can see the notes. So consider gifting a living plant that you can water instead of flowers that are already dead. I think that makes sense from a sustainable viewpoint. Or consider gifting experience, like an invitation to join your online Dungeons and Dragons group instead of a toy bear. It should say a toy bear or a teddy bear that she will throw away tomorrow, probably, right? So this used to be a concert, tickets to a concert. We're not doing concerts anymore, but you can still interact with your friends virtually, so I wanted to include an example of that. So Valentine's Day is also a good time to break up with those that you aren't in love with, right? Maybe. So this is a good time to break up with plastic, single-use plastic bags, especially. Break up with things bringing you down, like plastic bags. Bring your reusable bags to the store with you. Recycle any clean, stretchy plastic film at your local grocery store. Absolutely. So break up with plastic. Hook up with canvas. Yeah, canvas is way more attractive than plastic, in my opinion. So canvas bags can be used for more than just bringing your groceries home. You can use it as a pet carrier or have a picnic in the park with it. It's reusable. You can wash it in your laundry washing machine. And so yeah, you can recycle things. So like if you lose a card in your deck of cards, instead of throwing the deck away, think about how you can reuse the other cards that are left over. Right? Like be creative. Someone made. It looks like number 7. You have the best smile. So or number 17, right? So yeah, number 17. So every day, you flip the card and you read like a motivational um, saying to yourself. I think that's pretty cool. So that's better than throwing it away, in my opinion. And yeah, don't waste the love. It's better to have loved and recycled than to have never recycled. Um, Someone wise said that, I think. So recycle the following: empty bottles, green cards, and envelopes. But make sure when you buy cards that you don't get the ones with glitter or foil, or the ones that like when you open them they like pop out or like sing a song or have like electrical components. Yeah, don't buy those. They're like $7 each. Also, also a reason not to buy those. And don't waste the love, right? If you have a compost cart, use it please and use it correctly. Compost the following if you have access to these services, in which everyone should have them. I think, hooray! So pizza boxes, dead flowers, chocolates that you don't like. So yeah, the cherry ones, I think. Or like the orange ones. I don't like the orange ones. And then trash it. Don't put these in the recycling or compost. Actually, do put these in the trash because they have to go in the trash, just based on what they're made of. So I'm looking at chocolate boxes. I'm looking at bows. I'm looking at candy wrappers. I'm looking at the cellophane that goes around the flowers. That kind of plastic is not really recyclable right now. And that's it. So again, my name is Chase Norris. If you want to be a part of the Green Team, you can contact me. My email is chase.norris@austintexas.gov. You can also contact Maddie or Madeline.Morgan or Amanda Noble. So, all right. Thanks for your time.
This month, our topic will be bloodborne pathogens in the workplace. So what are bloodborne pathogens? They're any bacteria, virus, or other microorganisms that can cause diseases present in human blood and any other bodily fluids, and they can cause some serious diseases such as hepatitis B and C, HIV/AIDS, malaria, and several others. The regulations tell us that the employer must protect the employees from the hazards of a contact with blood or OPIM, other potentially infectious materials. If there is a reasonable anticipation of while you're doing your duties that you could come in contact with this material. Not just the healthcare, but many other of the other jobs that we do every day. So who is at risk? Well, any of those pathogens can enter your system through any of the blood or the OPIM. If it comes in contact with your eyes or mouth, those are other mucous membranes. Uh, Also, if there's a piercing in the membranes, like a sore in your skin or a wound or something like that, that it can come in there. Also through needle sticks or cuts, abrasions, things like that. So you must protect yourself, especially because we do have an occupational exposure possibility to this other potentially infectious material. So for those employees which have an occupational exposure potential, are required to receive training. When you went through your initial NEO, we talked about the bloodborne pathogens, and we also do it annually thereafter. And if you were to change job functions, you may also go through a refresher training. And the training must cover the standards and the symptoms, our control exposure control plan, vaccinations that are available, and any of the other PPE and things like that that you would be required to know to do your job. And in order to protect yourself and prevent you from getting an infection from some of these bloodborne pathogens, we provide vaccinations. We take a universal precaution to all of the OPIM. There's engineering controls put in place. There's work practice controls we put in place. There's PPE that's required to be worn. There's certain housekeeping practices if there is some that we need to take care of. What do we do with the waste? How do we dispose of it? The certain laundry practices, and also be aware of the signs, labels, and the different colors that you may come in contact with. One method that you use to break that chain of infection is through a vaccination. We offer the hepatitis vaccination at no cost to you. You can decline the vaccination. However, if you decide that you do want it, you get with your supervisor or over at safety, and we can make sure that you get set up to go to the clinic to get your vaccination. The hepatitis vaccination, it's given, of course, free of charge to all employees. It's also, they give a combination hepatitis A and B. It's a series of shots. The initial one, then again 1 month later, and then the final one 6 months after that. The term universal precaution simply says that we treat all blood and bodily fluids as they could be contaminated. So that way we don't know who has what, so we treat them all as if there's a potential for infection. Another method to control the infection is engineering controls. Those are devices that eliminate that potential exposure. It helps eliminate like touching any of those potentially infected materials. You see quite often in places those red boxes that are designed to for sharp disposal. That's an example of our engineering controls. An additional way to prevent infection is your work practice controls. Basically, hand washing, disinfecting of surfaces. Don't use your hands to pick up any of those contaminated sharps. You don't break any of those contaminated or potentially contaminated materials. You put them in sharp containers, and of course, no eating, drinking, smoking, or hand to mouth contact while you're handling any of those potentially infected materials. Proper disposal of any of this waste material that you found is essential for preventing exposure to any of these bloodborne pathogens. Typically, you will see any of this waste in a red biohazard bag or in the red sharps containers. Those are designed to hold that material until it can be properly disposed of. You should be aware of the possible presence of bloodborne pathogens, especially if you see any of the biohazard emblems on any materials or on any cleanup area, or if you also see the red bags or the red sharps containers. What should you look for? If while running your route in any of the carts or you find it in your truck, the red biohazard bags or red sharps container. If you see any loose syringes, any blood or bloody rags, things like that, stop and contact dispatch and try to determine which cart these came from. If you come in contact with any of the bloodborne pathogens or any of that material, you have potential exposure there. So remove any of that contaminated garments, flood and wash the area. If it's on your face, be sure to flush all of that area. Irrigate your eyes, and of course report this to your supervisor, and ARR will then make sure that you get medical evaluation after the potential exposure. If you observe someone else being injured, first off, remember, treat all blood as it could be infectious, and notify anyone those people that are trained to respond quickly. And if you've had training in first aid, of course, use your proper PPE, put on your gloves, and follow the safe work practices, and treat the person that has the injury. And then when that is done, do a proper cleanup and disposal of all of the materials. And according to the standards, every employer has to maintain an exposure control plan. Of course, we also have one and have it updated at least annually to see if anything has changed in, for instance, like the way we do a work process, or if we have any different PPE or things like that. And as always, safety begins with you. Understand the hazards of bloodborne pathogens and the importance of protecting yourself and others. Always be prepared and be able to recognize if whenever bloodborne materials or any other OPIM is present, and that way you can make the right decisions to protect yourself, your coworkers, and your families, because we want every one of you to go home safe at the end of the day. Thank you again for your attention, and let's be safe out there.
The winner for the first quarter of the On the Spot Award is Javier Vasquez. Javier, working at the Household Hazard Waste facility, was notified that there was a fire near the batteries. Javier safely mitigated the fire, then he disposed of the batteries properly. He won the drawing, so he got to choose between a King Disc grill and an Igloo cooler. Mr. Vasquez chose the King Disc grill, which is showed in the picture. Good work, Javier. All right, that concludes the safety meeting for the month of February. Please notify your supervisor and SPOCs. That way you can ensure that you get credit for the month. Have a safe day.